Hey, if y'all are new here, I'm Shayna. I'm reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 15, Episode 11, Back to Our Future. If you're a subscriber here, you can probably hear that I'm feeling under the weather, but I got to 100 subscribers today, so I'm elated, even though it doesn't sound like it, and I look exhausted. I can barely talk, but I was so ecstatic about getting to 100. I've only been doing this for a month, so I just wanted to have this review out on time. I'm definitely going to rest tomorrow. Nothing really comes on tomorrow, but there's a lot to review Friday, especially Love is Blind after the show. That's definitely going to be reviewed on my channel. So, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button for your girl, because I'm coming to y'all with content even when I don't feel well, regardless of who views it. So share with a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend if you enjoy this video at the end. And I'm just going to go, y'all know with Married at First Sight, I go in order by couple, because Married at First Sight is, there's just so much information. It's on for 2 hours. So for this show only, I go by couple. And I just went in the order that they went in on this episode. So we started with Justice and Alexis. We pick up where we left off. We ended off last week with them kind of getting into it at the dinner with the other couples. Sorry if I'm smacking. I got a Halls in my mouth. I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to bring it to y'all. Justin and Alexis are both expressing how they're feeling. And I just think, I just heard baby and babe and baby and babe. And it's just cringy. It made me cringe. What y'all think? It makes me cringe every time they do it. It's given forced. But I don't think that they will make it past decision day. Y'all let me know. I know it's still early. Things have changed. Some couples have surprised me, but I didn't think they was going to make it on day one, and I still don't now. So we move on. And Pastor Cal, is doing his talking in between scenes. And he says, as experts, they can give all the advice in the world, but it's up to the couples to make it work. While I agree with that statement, the experts are nowhere to be found. We ain't seen the experts in a couple of seasons. I feel like ever since Pastor Cal became an expert, we stopped seeing experts. Who are the experts? I thought Devon Franklin was supposed to make a guest appearance. When is that going to happen? The finale? Who are the experts? And they didn't bring on Dr. Pepper this episode, and it was because, Morgan Mayweather came stomping through, and it took all that just to see Dr. Pepper. So we see Justin and Alexis. They're having their meeting with Dr. Pepper. They're 1,000 times taller than her. I understand I'm tall too, if y'all seen my previous review, so I get it. She's a little lady. It was cute. They begin to talk about Maya. As soon as they said Maya, Justin began to cry. He cannot let an episode go by without a good tear, but I understand in this situation because he's had Maya since she was literally an infant pup, fresh out the womb puppy. So Maya will remain at the farm. Justin will not be going back to get her. I think that he may regret this, because I don't think that they're going to make it, and this is just my opinion. I'm just guessing and speculating right now. We don't know what the outcome will be, but because they're so rocky, if they don't make it, he's definitely going to regret his decision. And we ain't seen Norman ever since. Where he at? I ain't heard a bark. Are the dogs around? Maya's missing, but where's the dogs and where's the cat? Whatever. So Alexa said they started a fresh start. They started a fresh start all the time. Justin said Alexis is sensitive. Alexis doesn't like that. She don't want to be called sensitive. She correlates being sensitive with being vulnerable. Nothing wrong with being vulnerable, but she said she felt like it was considered being weak. She was raised by strong black women. Black women always have to be so strong. It's just so sad to see. Honestly, it's sad. I see posts every day now about when I want to step into my soft girl era, my soft girl phase in life, and it's why weren't we always allowed to be soft? We was singing INDEPENDENT a little too hard back in the day. I should have never been singing Miss Independent, all the independent women throw your hands at me. No. I don't want that. I want a supportive person. If you're going to be there, I don't want to be hard and tough. I want to be able to be vulnerable. Dr. Pepper lets Alexis know that there's strength in being vulnerable. It takes a lot of strength to open yourself up. And I agree. I see where her mother was probably trying to do it. Maybe it was going down to family genes, like her grandmother and the grandmother and the grandmother. Everybody just felt like they had to be strong. I get it, but there's definitely strength in opening up and letting your guard down and trusting someone. Moving on, Justin shows Alexis his old neighborhood. I like Justin with the shades on, give him a little swag, you know what I'm saying? He said his brother was really strict on him, and that's like, while I hear what he's saying, that was a lot for his brother to take on. Like, where was the parents at? Like, I know they said his father was absentee. I want to dig into that a little more. And I'm wondering if that's why he is so sensitive, or part of the reason, or the start of the reason, or why he, cries, because he's maybe having a hard time expressing himself. I'm no psychiatrist. I'm just guessing. I'm watching like y'all. But his brother was a baby, raising a baby. His brother was 19 when he was 13. So he was still a teenager himself. I think he did the best he could. And I think that he did a good job given the circumstances. And I'm glad they weren't separated. So Justin and Alexis fly a kite because he expressed that this is something that he liked to do. And she was supportive when she was talking to him. She's like, yeah, let's do it. Yay, woo. But when she had her confessional, all that, woo, no. She was like, what is this? I was not, like, why are we doing it? Alexis can be so fake sometimes. Like, I want to like her, but then sometimes she be so fake. But I know we be thinking in our head, like, yeah, babe, no, we don't want to do it. But when you're with someone, you do things to make the person happy. That's what relationships are about. Because I'm sure he didn't want to give up Maya, but he did. So the least you can do is fly that kite with that smile on that face. You hear me? So Alexis takes Justin to play basketball later on because she's a self-proclaimed tomboy. She showed him her childhood pictures of her playing basketball back in the day. Read a nice letter to herself and said she wants to break the cycle of hyper-independence. First step is acknowledgement. Then what we're going to do about from here is hard. When that's all you know, you just got to take it one step at a time. Not Justice. Oh, Lord, wrong show. Wrong show. If you know, you know. Justin was supportive, but to me, he was like, oh, that's nice. But he didn't really give like too much feedback. Like, it seemed like even last episode, he seemed a bit checked out. And he seems a bit checked out again tonight in some of the scenes, in my opinion. But y'all let me know what y'all think. So next they showed Morgan and Ben. Morgan is doing exactly what she doesn't want Ben to do. Venting to the ladies. Opening her mouth. Talking. Ben is doing the same. But real surface level. You're not going into no detail. At this point, he probably don't know what the detail is anymore. And neither do we. Like, what are we even arguing about anymore? Like, I've done forgot. Are we still arguing about the scrubs in the nurse hospital, wherever you work, of it all? I don't know. Justin defends Ben, and I'm like, it's partially your fault. Loose lips. If you didn't have it on speakerphone trying to impress Alexis when y'all got your own marriage that y'all need to be worrying about, some of this wouldn't have happened, or maybe she wouldn't have received it the way she did. Had you not been, Ben shouldn't have did it, or should he have? I feel like he shouldn't have did it with Justin. When your friend tells you something in confidence, step away, have some respect for the person. Sheesh. I know Justice again. Justice, get out of this review. Go back over there with Ready to Love. Justin, I think they're so used to, they talk about everything openly, so they don't care. But that doesn't mean that you share everybody else's business. You don't do that. But whatever, Ben gonna still vent to him, so that's his fault at this point. Morgan tells the ladies that they're separated, and they were like, has he reached out? Why would he at this point? He done apologized umpteenth times, did everything he could. You took his flowers, got a thorn in your hand, and throw him down on the ground, stomped him with your big girl wedges. Why would he be apologizing at this point, or calling, or to say what? You don't want to hear it. And she's like, oh no, he hasn't, making him seem like the bad guy. And I don't like that. I don't like it, because you didn't take any accountability. It's not one-sided. No, Ben is not perfect. I am not caping for him, but you tell it all if you're going to tell it. Don't half tell it. They're doomed. It's over. I don't like that they're forcing them to continue. If she's not going to participate, charge her a little fee and kick them off. So the ladies butt in on the guys. They go to Sasha and Nate's place where the guys are, and Morgan begins telling the business exactly what she don't want Ben to do. She does it. She did it at the housewarming party, and now she's running her mouth again. I guess it's only okay when she runs her mouth. So the guys asked, because she was talking about, he's been lying. They were like, what's the lie? She still won't take accountability for her lie. I guess I thought I was going to put this to rest, but not today. Did we not forget? I know, Ben ain't saying nothing. He hush mouth, but I'm going to say it for him. She lied first. Had she not lied first, this wouldn't even be no thing. Yeah, some of the other things he said I didn't like, with her family and all that stuff, and he wanted somebody who had a strong family background, which he's not the first person I heard say that, honestly. It was just the delivery. It came off. I didn't like that. But, he apologized already. Take some accountability. Had you not lied in the first place, there wouldn't have been anything for him to tell Justin to begin with. But she ain't going to do it. Nate defends Ben. I agree with what Nate was saying. She still don't want to hear it. She don't care. Ben is just too timid for her. She walking all over him. He says he's unhappy and he mentions going to therapy. I feel like therapy at this point, I think everybody, go. Please go. I'm not trying to deter anybody from going, but I feel like, are your intentions genuine? Or is it like a get out of jail free card? Like, okay, I'm going to therapy. Forgive me, because as you can see, I'm going to therapy. Like, anytime something happens, like, well, I'm going to therapy. Like, let it go. Like, no. We're not just going to just keep jumping to therapy like that's going to be the answer. The person who really needs to go to therapy as well really is Morgan. She need to be hollering about going to therapy if we want to be truth be told. The couple meets with Dr. Pepper, and per usual, Ben just takes the blame. He just lays down and just takes it. Excuse me, y'all. Morgan still doesn't take any blame. Like, she sounded like she's about to, but she did not. Dr. Pepper wants Morgan to write a letter to her younger self, like, to heal. Dr. Pepper, you can retire. Like, we do this every season. You didn't give her, like, what? This wasn't a special task for her specifically or anything. Like, what are you talking about? Write a letter to your younger self? That's just part of their task that they all have to do. I mean, what else? Dr. Pepper, you could have stayed home for this. You really could have. Like, come on now. She just coasting by, just getting a check. So, Morgan comes to the shared apartment later on in the episode. Ben is reading his letter to his younger self. After he gets done pouring out his heart, Morgan is unmoved and does not care and is straight-faced. And she doesn't want to share. After he just opened up, she don't want to share. She's like, I don't want to share. I don't feel comfortable. And like, goodness gracious. Please just quit the show. Like, please. Like, the agony. I kind of miss back when the days when it used to be 6 weeks. Even though it wasn't enough time. But I can't take another week of them. She needs therapy, like I said. She's milking this. She's running it through the mud. She's dragging it just to say no on decision day. You ain't even saying there. You said y'all was separated. Like, let it be what it's going to be. I hope that Ben, has the same outcome as the guy. I'm sorry, it slipped my mind. I'm not feeling well. But as a guy from last season who got out and he said, this is my decision day. I hope Ben gets that as well, because he is actually trying. He's doing the activities. He's doing the tasks. He's at the apartment. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. If she's not, then it should be okay and fair for him to get out of this. So Sasha and Nate meet with Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper said, because she was talking about how Nate he didn't move as fast as she does. She wanted him to move like she moved. And Sasha did not want to hear it when Dr. Pepper said, you did not marry you. Like, you did not marry yourself. So you can't expect for him to move like you moved. So Sasha was like tight-lipped, like she didn't care what she was talking about. Hear it, girlfriend. That's why we here now. That's why we on the show. You need to take the advice. Dr. Pepper ain't giving, and she ain't been giving much, but some crumbs, some nibbles and bits. So just take it. Take the decent advice when you get it. And I'm just looking at Nate's head, and I'm like, thank goodness on the after show we see he cut those 2 braids off. Cause God, ooh-wee. It's giving Jesse on Love Island. Like, please, just please, let it go. He did eventually, so I ain't gonna ride him too hard. I'm gonna let it go. But he need to let it go. I think you need to let it go. So, they confirmed that they consummated the marriage, and we already know. They didn't say when they did it. We know they did it. They did it, like, the first night. We already know. Like, no shock there. Y'all wouldn't be getting no tattoos and all that, and y'all didn't consummate them. Like, what was the secret? Like, y'all is full grown. Like, I don't understand why they coming on her. Yeah, you don't have to tell your business. When it comes out and other people start admitting it, why are you hanging on to the lie? Just tell the truth. So Sasha reads the letter to her childhood self. Nate does the same. They share a few things about their childhood with each other. Moving on, Nate shows Sasha his old neighborhood. His dad shows up, and I thought that was nice. His dad shares some memories. Nate's dad got choked up when he discussed raising his kids. And I don't know if Nate said it before, and I just forgot. I didn't realize he had siblings. Like, I thought it was just him and his dad. He might have said it before, and it's just slipping my mind. Nate did say I love you to his dad, and I noticed that his dad didn't say it back. Not to make a big deal about it, because you can see how much Nate and his dad love each other. And Nate said this is the first time he's ever even seen his dad cry. So, you know, it's obviously taken him a while. He said with his military background and all that, he's not emotional. Like, he said that this ain't the first time he cried. It's just the first time he's cried in front of Nate. And as parents, you know, I get it. You don't want your children to see you, like, breaking down. Like, you have to be strong for them. But sometimes we need to let them see us as humans and not just as heroes, if that makes sense. Sasha goes back to her old stomping ground. Sasha was always a hustler. She said she made purses out of jean material, and she would get the girls' names on it at the mall. She did it the legal way. We know Nate claimed that he was a booster, and he was doing it like the illegal way. He was selling them bootleg knockoffs. So he claimed. Jury's still out on that one, because I don't know anybody who would have been doing that and just talking about it so free, but I guess. Nate likes her ambition because he wants to be a power couple. That's their thing. They just want to be like Beyonce and Jay-Z. That's their thing. So she visited her childhood friend, the friend she lived with in her senior year of high school. I loved how the family loves and embraces Sasha. Even the dad, it was like her dad, we know she really probably values their relationship so much because even though she had a stepdad, her lack of relationship with her biological father, you know, her dad, the stand-in dad, for lack of better words, was talking about when she went on a date back in high school, and you know how he had to talk to the guy and tell him, you know, come to the door, meet me. And I thought that was really nice, and I'm glad that they're still friends till this day. I really did enjoy that. So Kristen and Mitch are up next. It's their turn to meet with Dr. Pepper. Kristen immediately starts crying because she feels like she's been walking on eggshells with Mitch. Dr. Pepper encouraged Kristen to say, you know, like, say how you feel. You say those loving feelings or whatever, and maybe he'll say it in return. You'll receive it back from him. But she was like pulling teeth to get Mitch to say like how he feel about her. And I feel like, I think he's trying. I absolutely think he's trying. I think he's making a slow turnaround. Like, he made like out of a 180 like a 70 right now. You know, he's trying. I think he's just not feeling her like as much as she's feeling him. So it's taking him a little bit longer to get to meet her where she's at. But it's not for lack of effort, and we know he's never really had a serious relationship, so there's that. Kristen takes Mitch to play softball, something she did as a child. And I'm just like, when will he take her to do inactivity? Like, every time, girl, I'm spread thin just watching. Mitch is not athletic. Kristen shares that she felt like she had to be perfect during her childhood. That's why she has this people pleaser personality because of her parents. And Mitch was like, he had a completely opposite upbringing. He had no structure. Like, he was able to run amok and do what he wanted to do. And it shows. That's why, you know, there was no structure in his house when the bathroom and the kitchen was looking the way it looked. You know, it just is what it is. That maybe that's why they put them together, to see if they would balance each other. But we'll see long term if this is going to work. So Mitch goes down memory lane with old pics that he got from his mom. And, you know, he once again stated that his parents' divorce really affected him, which is probably why it took him so long to get to this point anyway. This is not his first time expressing that the divorce really had an impact on him and his future relationships. His mom was gorgeous back in the day. I done forgot what she looked like now, but she, you know, she was really pretty in the picture. And, you know, he's sad that his dad passed away in 2014 and didn't get to see him get married, didn't get to see him do all of this with his life. And I know that's always disappointing for some, like when people have kids and a parent passed away and it's like, I wish my mom or my dad would have been able to see it. So definitely heartfelt. The more he opens up, the more I am starting to like Mitch. We move on, and Kristen and Mitch, they visit his father's graveyard site. They go to his grave. And then Mitch and Kristen go to the beach, of course, because it's only right. It makes sense. They go to read their letters. Mitch cannot wait to have his feet out. Like, can we get the towel on the ground first? Sheesh. It looked like a chilly day, but he got to have them toes out. You hear me? So, excuse me. Oof. It's just a common cold, y'all. I promise. Mitch had a lengthy letter that he clearly needed to write. He probably needed to write this a long time ago. Now, who I think the letter did help was Mitch, because he began to cry. Like, he kind of broke down a little bit. And Kristen was like, you know, the feelings, the ill feelings she had before, she don't feel that way no more now that he's showing this vulnerable side of himself. So I like to see this side of him. And I see potential with them. You know, the streets are still trying to guess to see, are they together or not. Let's give it time. Let's see. Because they got a lot more potential than some of these couples talking about I love you. I'll say that. Last but not least, Lindy and Miguel. Do we have to snooze fest? Like, I done already took some NyQuil. Like, let's just run through it. Dr. Pepper asked if Santa was coming. Since Santa coming to town, because y'all got the cookies out on the table. Like, who these cookies for? It looked like y'all took a bite out of one or two. I was crying. That's the best Dr. Pepper did on episode. So, you know, after I realized like I completely forgot about them, Lindy admits that she's insecure as a wife, but Miguel reassures her, and they quickly turn around. So all their concerns they had before don't seem to be concerns now. They haven't said I love you yet. It's been a month. Like, it's fine. Ever since, you know, Lindy put that thing on him, though, we know it's on the way. He's been cooking every day. She don't got to work. She don't got to worry about no insurance. She got it made. She just living her best life. So, you know, hey, it worked out for them. Lindy and Miguel go to a dance lesson. I understand that she didn't dance, like, as a child or whatever, but she said she was out of that religion for a while. And I know she said, like, she, you know, went out and kind of lived a little bit. So I'm like, have you not danced at all? I guess she said she hasn't had, like, structured dancing, that type of thing. Like, she hasn't had real dancing, like, as far as, like, prom or weddings. But I'm like, have you never been to a wedding? Have you never been to a formal? She hasn't had any formal type of thing. But I'm like, every time she talks about her childhood, and it's like, you moved out when you was 14, you lived with a boyfriend, you lived a little bit more life than you leading on. You doing some things some people ain't never did. And they don't even go to church. I'm just saying. I am happy she gets to dance today. She can dance her life away without worries and fears now. So I like that. She read her letter. Miguel mentioned starting a family, and that made Lindy smile. So Miguel shares his past. They're looking at a map. He reads his letter. Then at the end, he told her he loves her. And she says it back, but she was like low-key. Was she kind of hesitating? Was it just me? Was I sleepy? Like, I thought she was going to jump and be like, yes, I love you too, you know, but it took her like a couple seconds. And then he was like, you love me? Like, confirming, like, he needed to be reassured. And I'm like, the whole time she's saying she feeling insecure, he feeling it the same way. Like, y'all are fine. Like, let's just get to decision day so they can relax a little bit. And she can let that side that she keeps talking about he ain't seen yet all the way out, okay? But I'm pretty sure they'll say yes on decision day. And then he said, you know, it's funny. They say first comes love, then comes marriage, then the baby and the baby carriage. We did it backwards. We got married, love, and next is a baby. So I'm like, he keeps saying that. I gotta see what she's really saying about this. Like, cause she's like, oh, yeah, like laughing. Like, do you want this, Lindy? Please clarify. But that was the end of the review. Y'all let me know down in the comments what y'all think. I'm sorry. I'm just out of it today. But yay for 100 subscribers. My goal is to get to 1,000 and then another 1,000 and another 1,000. So definitely hit that button for me. Check out, my son wanted me to mention this real quick. Check out my son's page. It's like it's in the link somewhere. Jim_Slim. He talks about, you know, trying different foods and NBA. Check him out, young 10-year-old who got some great videos. And I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.